All that talk about streaming being the future and we're headed there, Microsoft now isn't so sure. Welcome back to another video. I have to be honest, I'm not really following all of this FTC, CMA, Phil Spencer courtroom drama because that's just what it is, drama. It really doesn't affect me at all. I'm going to purchase good games. I'm going to purchase systems that introduce and create good games. I'm just that kind of a gamer. I buy a console and I play games on the console. Whoever has the games that I'm interested in, I'm going to go there, play them, and talk about them. But I will say that I did find some of the information that came out to be somewhat interesting because we keep hearing about the future and playing these games on your 6-inch screen, your phone, your tablet. That's the future, streaming them, playing them. Everyone's going to do that. And I always said it's a bit odd because most of the games that I'm interested in are designed around televisions that are really big. We're pushing 4K, we're pushing 8K, 70-inch screens. How in the world are those experiences going to translate to 6-inch screens in our pockets simply because we have them everywhere? Everyone's just going to turn into that kind of a gamer. I never understood it. I never felt that the controls, the touch controls on a screen that's 6 inches or 8 inches, or even, what are we going to have phones that are like 20 inches now with the screens? It's just not going to happen. Those controls just don't feel good, and everybody's not just going to carry a controller around with them, and even if they did, you're still stuck back with that small screen. Font sizes don't translate well to phones, and sure enough, all of those concerns that I had in those questions, Microsoft answered them themselves in private, and it's come out during this trial. I want to read you some of the things that Microsoft said about cloud gaming, and in particular, their XCloud service. There's lots of barriers of a console game being displayed on a phone screen. Latency is clearly one issue. Another fairly obvious issue are these games were built for a TV screen, so even things like font size are hard to see. The last thing is that people play console games with a controller. Your phone doesn't have that. So our XCloud software was trying to mimic a controller on the touchscreen on the phone, which turns out to be very limiting to the experience. We didn't make much traction for finding new customers for Xbox on mobile as a result. So it sounds like Microsoft themselves were thinking about all of the things that I was thinking about, all of the limiting factors that streaming brings with it. Everyone seems to say that streaming is about freedom. There are no limits, but you're talking about experiences that are designed inherently for something that will not translate to the devices that streaming is meant for. So if you're talking about phones, let's solve all of these problems that Microsoft themselves have run into. Let's say there's no latency. Let's say that phone screens in the future become 25 inches so that 70-inch, 60-inch experiences, full HD, 4K, 8K, all the graphical fidelity, you can translate that somewhat to a phone screen because you could never do that with a 6-inch or an 8-inch screen. They'd have to be really large phone screens, and we're not going to get there. But let's say we solve the problem of latency and we solve the problem of screen size. Now every single person has to carry a controller around with them. Is that going to happen? Let's say miraculously that happens. You're still stuck with a limiting experience because these games are designed inherently around the home, the big television, the experience. You still have to worry about font translating to the phone. You have to worry about the fact that people aren't going to have a controller. They need touch controls, and none of these games are designed to be played with touch controls. You can shoehorn it in, but it just doesn't work, and Microsoft has run into that problem. And if it did work, if it was the future, you would be seeing some growth. You wouldn't be seeing zero, and Microsoft themselves have said that they have a hard time finding new customers. In fact, they haven't found any when it comes to xCloud or streaming in general. And if your answer to all of this is, well, in the future, all of these streaming services are going to be bundled in with the television. So a 70-inch TV will have Game Pass on it, and all you need to do is buy a controller, and then you can stream everything to your television set. Well, you're still stuck with the idea that you need a piece of hardware in your home. Somebody's got to make the best TV. Somebody's got to make the biggest selling TV. Somebody has to have a television that consumers choose over another brand of television. And we're right back to the idea that you're making a console. Why not make one that people want to buy over another console in the market? And how do you do that? By offering these experiences in the future that have all of these limiting factors that Microsoft themselves have run into and have confirmed. This isn't me, this is Microsoft saying it. So if you don't believe it, you have a problem with Microsoft, not me. Why not create a console? Why not push that console? Why not get people to purchase that box and put it in their living room? Just like you'd be if you had streaming everywhere. Somebody still has to go out and buy a television. Sony's going to fight to make you buy their television. Toshiba's going to fight to make you buy their television. Samsung's going to fight to make you buy their television. You're still back to the idea that a service needs to live somewhere, and the place that it needs to live is a product that you have to purchase, just like a video game console. I make this analogy all the time. It's like going back to the 1800s and telling people, in the future, there are going to be these things called cars. It's inevitable, so throw away your horse and carriage now. It wouldn't make any sense because we're talking at least 100 years until the automobile. And when it comes to everything streaming, working perfectly, it's so far away, it makes no sense to invest all of the time, put all of these eggs in that basket. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.